the ancient secret of apple cider vinegar, and why it's still relevant today. Since the earliest civilizations, vinegar has accompanied human history as a discreet yet powerful ally for health, food preservation, and even spiritual rituals. Although today, apple cider vinegar is seen as a trendy superfood, the truth is that its relevance spans millennia and cultures, and each generation has rediscovered new ways to use it. From Egypt to the Roman Empire, historical records indicate that as early as ancient Egypt, over 3,000 years ago, vinegar was used both to preserve food and as a medicinal tonic. Medical papyri describe vinegar solutions mixed with herbs to treat wounds and improve digestion. In the Greek world, Hippocrates, considered the father of medicine, recommended vinegar mixed with honey, known as oxymel, to soothe sore throats, fight infections, and restore energy after illness. As early as the Roman Empire, warriors consumed a drink called potska, a mixture of water and vinegar, which ensured their vigor on long marches. For them, vinegar was not only a refreshing drink, but also a means of warding off disease, as its acidity helped purify the water and reduce the proliferation of bacteria. This practice of using vinegar as a tonic continued in various cultures, including ancient China, where it was considered a remedy against fatigue and premature aging. From folk tradition to modern science, for centuries, knowledge about the benefits of vinegar was passed down from generation to generation empirically. However, in the last 50 years, science has begun to confirm what the ancients already intuited. Vinegar, especially apple cider vinegar, contains bioactive compounds that affect metabolism, immunity, and even longevity. The main secret lies in acetic acid, its active component, which has antimicrobial properties, regulates glucose metabolism, and stimulates digestion. Furthermore, when vinegar is unfiltered and retains the so-called mother of vinegar, a set of beneficial bacteria and enzymes, it also acts as a probiotic, promoting intestinal health. In other words, modern science merely translates into biochemical language what ancient civilizations already applied in practice. The global revival of apple cider vinegar in recent years. Apple cider vinegar has gained enormous popularity worldwide, moving from being just a salad dressing to becoming a symbol of natural health. This happened for three main reasons. The Back to Natural movement. More and more people are seeking homemade, less industrialized alternatives to healthcare. Recent scientific research studies published in medical journals has shown that vinegar can help reduce blood glucose after meals, aid in weight loss, and improve metabolic markers. Marketing and digital media, health and wellness influencers have popularized simple routines like taking a spoonful of apple cider vinegar on an empty stomach, or using vinegar as a detox, which has rekindled global interest. Large markets, such as the United States and Europe, have seen significant growth in sales of organic apple cider vinegar, especially in liquid or capsule form. Why is it still relevant today? We live in an era of excess, too much ultra-processed food, too much sugar, too much stress. In this scenario, apple cider vinegar emerges as an accessible, natural, and multifunctional tool. It can help control metabolism, reducing glucose spikes. It can strengthen immunity and intestinal health. It is inexpensive and available virtually anywhere in the world. It combines ancient tradition and modern science in a single product. It is precisely this combination of simplicity, proven effectiveness, and ancient history that ensures apple cider vinegar never goes out of style. Stay with me until the end, because in the next chapters you'll discover how apple cider vinegar can impact everything from your metabolism to your longevity, including hormonal balance, immunity, and even mental health. Get ready to discover uses you may never have imagined. If there's one topic that connects thousands of people in the modern world, it's the challenge of metabolism. Never before in history has humanity had such an abundance of food, but at the same time so much difficulty in dealing with the effects of excess, weight gain, type 2 diabetes, chronic fatigue. In this context, apple cider vinegar re-emerges as an affordable and effective ally, especially when it comes to insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? Insulin is a hormone produced by the pancreas that acts as a key to open cells and allow glucose to enter, providing energy. When there is insulin resistance, cells become deaf to this command. The result is excess glucose circulating in the blood, forcing the pancreas to produce more and more insulin. Over time, this leads to a vicious cycle that can develop into prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and widespread inflammation. And this is where apple cider vinegar plays a surprising role. How acetic acid affects metabolism. Acetic acid, the main active component of apple cider vinegar, has the ability to increase insulin sensitivity. Research shows that, when taken before carbohydrate-rich meals, it helps reduce blood glucose spikes and, consequently, the amount of insulin needed to handle this load. The mechanism is twofold. It slows starch digestion, reducing the rate at which carbohydrates are broken down into glucose. It increases glucose uptake by muscles, improving metabolic efficiency. This means the body can better utilize energy from food without overloading the pancreas. A study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed volunteers who consumed apple cider vinegar before meals with white bread. The results were impressive. There was a significant reduction in blood glucose and insulin levels compared to the control group. Another study by the American Diabetes Association demonstrated that people with insulin resistance who consumed apple cider vinegar before bed had improved glycemic control the next morning. These data reinforce the idea that this is a simple tool, but with measurable results for metabolism. Connection with type 2 diabetes prevention. Type 2 diabetes is now a global epidemic, affecting millions of people and costing healthcare systems billions. The fact that an ingredient as accessible as apple cider vinegar can address the underlying problem, insulin resistance, is revolutionary. Obviously, it doesn't replace healthy habits, such as a balanced diet and exercise, but as a supplement, it can enhance results and offer extra protection. Furthermore, by reducing glucose spikes, vinegar also helps control hunger, preventing sudden drops in blood sugar that lead to cravings for sweets and carbohydrates. Imagine a simple routine before a carbohydrates-rich meal such as rice, pasta, or bread. Drink a glass of water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. This gesture can mean the difference between overloading the body with glucose or maintaining more stable levels. For those seeking weight loss, this control translates into less hunger and more energy throughout the day. For those who already have prediabetes, it can be a powerful protective factor. In the next few minutes, you'll see that the benefits of apple cider vinegar go far beyond metabolism. It can even help with the aging process, protecting your cells and increasing your vitality. Stay with me, because the next topic is one of the most fascinating: how apple cider vinegar can be considered a true ally of longevity. Apple cider vinegar and longevity, natural anti-aging. The desire to live longer and better has accompanied humanity since the dawn of time. Kings, philosophers, and scientists have always sought the elixir of life, a secret capable of prolonging youth and maintaining vitality. While there is no magic potion that prevents aging, some natural habits and substances have shown potential to delay the signs of aging and preserve health for longer. Among them, apple cider vinegar holds a special place. The cellular aging process. Aging is a natural phenomenon, but the speed at which it occurs can vary greatly between individuals. Two main factors influence it: oxidative stress, when free radicals damage cells and tissues, accelerating the body's deterioration. Shortened telomeres. Telomeres are structures that protect DNA, like the plastic ends of a shoelace. Each time the cell divides, they become shorter, until the cell loses its ability to renew itself. Keep inflammation levels low and protect. Maintaining telomeres is essential for slowing biological aging. This is where antioxidant compounds and metabolic regulators come in, exactly what we find in apple cider vinegar. Reducing oxidative stress. Apple cider vinegar contains polyphenols and other natural antioxidants that help neutralize free radicals. Furthermore, by balancing blood glucose levels and improving insulin sensitivity, as we saw in the previous chapter, it indirectly reduces the formation of reactive oxygen species, which are associated with premature aging. Research with animal models shows that acetic acid can reduce inflammatory and oxidative markers in the liver and other tissues, preserving cellular function, relationship with telomeres, and longevity. Recent studies in biogerontology indicate that diets that stabilize glucose and reduce inflammation have a direct impact on telomere preservation. Although there are no specific studies on apple cider vinegar and telomere length in humans, we know that its effect on metabolism and oxidative stress may indirectly favor the maintenance of these structures. In other words, by balancing the internal environment of cells, apple cider vinegar creates conditions for them to age more slowly. Protection against neurodegenerative diseases. Healthy aging doesn't just mean looking youthful, but also preserving cognitive function. Apple cider vinegar has shown potential in preventing diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, not directly, but through indirect mechanisms. Improved gut health, which impacts the brain through the gut-brain connection. Reduced insulin resistance, as high insulin levels are associated with an increased risk of Alzheimer's, sometimes called type 3 diabetes. Antioxidant action that protects neurons from oxidative stress. Thus, small, regular doses can have a protective effect over decades. Several cultures known for their longevity incorporate vinegar into their diets. In Japan, regions with high life expectancy have the habit of consuming rice vinegar, a close relative of apple cider vinegar, in sauces and marinades. In the Mediterranean, traditional diets include natural vinegars in salads and preserves. And even in rural communities in Eastern Europe, it was common to drink diluted vinegar solutions as an energy tonic. These traditions reinforce that longevity is not just linked to genes or luck, but also to simple habits incorporated into daily life. Vinegar is part of a youthful lifestyle. Obviously, apple cider vinegar is not a one-off miracle. It is part of a complex set of habits that include a plant-rich diet, regular exercise, stress management, and a good night's sleep. But its unique feature lies precisely in its accessibility and versatility. Just a spoonful mixed with water before meals is enough to start reaping the benefits. This simplicity has led millions of people around the world to use it as a practical way to invest in longevity. If you've discovered so far that apple cider vinegar can balance metabolism and protect against aging, get ready. In the next few minutes, we'll explore an often overlooked key to health: the gut. You'll understand how vinegar directly affects the microbiome and even your mental health. The gut microbiome and the hidden key of vinegar. In recent years, one of the greatest advances in health science has been the discovery that the gut is much more than a digestive organ. It is considered the human body's second brain, capable of influencing everything from immunity to mood and behavior. And this is where apple cider vinegar reveals one of its most surprising functions, acting as a modulator of the gut microbiome. What is the gut microbiome? The microbiome is the set of trillions of microorganisms that live in harmony within our gut. They aid in the digestion and absorption of nutrients, produce essential vitamins, such as K and some B vitamins, regulate the immune system, influence neurotransmitters, such as serotonin, responsible for well-being. A healthy microbiome is like a balanced forest, full of diversity. But when harmful bacteria overgrow, dysbiosis occurs, associated with chronic inflammation, anxiety, depression, obesity, and autoimmune diseases. The mother of vinegar, natural probiotics. If you've ever looked closely at apple cider vinegar and unfiltered, you may have noticed a cloudy substance called the mother. It's a collection of yeast, good bacteria, and enzymes that form during fermentation. This colony is rich in natural probiotics, which help repopulate the gut with beneficial bacteria, balance intestinal flora, improve digestion, and reduce gas and bloating. Consuming apple cider vinegar with the mother is like giving a boost to the army of good microorganisms in your gut. Strengthened immunity. About 70% of immunity is linked to the gut. When the microbiome is balanced, defense cells can better respond to viruses and harmful bacteria. Apple cider vinegar, by nourishing good bacteria and regulating the intestinal environment, strengthens this natural line of defense. This explains why many people report fewer colds, allergies, and infections when incorporating it into their routine. Gut-brain connection, impact on mood. Few people know this, but the gut produces over 90% of the body's serotonin, the neurotransmitter linked to pleasure and well-being. When the microbiome is disrupted, symptoms such as anxiety, sadness, and irritability can intensify. By restoring gut health, apple cider vinegar indirectly contributes to a more stable emotional balance. This doesn't mean it replaces medical treatments, but it can be a powerful complementary ally in mental health care. Studies and scientific evidence. Preliminary research shows that the acetic acid in vinegar can reduce the growth of pathogenic bacteria in the gut, create a more acidic environment that favors the survival of good bacteria, improve markers of inflammation linked to dysbiosis. Although more large-scale clinical studies are needed, the results point to a promising role for vinegar in gut and immune health. The impact on anxiety and depression. Microbiome imbalance is directly related to anxiety and even depression. By acting on the intestinal flora, apple cider vinegar can be considered a natural modulator of the gut-brain axis. Many user reports indicate a feeling of mental lightness, less fatigue, and greater clarity after regular use. It's a reminder that taking care of your gut also means taking care of your mind. Practical integration into your routine. The good news is that you don't need to consume large amounts. Small doses already bring benefits. 1 tablespoon in a glass of water in the morning. Use as a dressing for salads and vegetables. In sauces and marinades, preserving the probiotic effect. The secret is regularity, not excess. Conclusion: the gut as a hidden key to health. Apple cider vinegar goes beyond a simple seasoning. It acts as a key that opens hidden doors in the body, balancing the microbiome and generating positive effects on immunity, energy, and even mood. If you want more vitality, longevity, and emotional balance, starting with your gut is the right path, and apple cider vinegar is an affordable, simple, and effective ally. Now that you've rediscovered how apple cider vinegar works on the gut and even influences the mind, get ready. In the next few minutes, we'll talk about one of the most searched for topics today, deep detox. You'll understand how this liquid can stimulate true cellular cleansing, far beyond passing fads. Deep cellular detox, much more than the liver. When we hear the word detox, we usually think of trendy green juices, quick diets, or miracle products that promise to cleanse the body in just a few days. But the truth is, real detox has nothing to do with these. It happens within each cell, in biochemical processes that the body already performs naturally. And this is where apple cider vinegar comes in, a discreet but powerful ally in cellular detoxification. Unlike superficial market promises, it acts on deep mechanisms that support health and longevity. The ancient tradition of detox. Ancient civilizations already associated vinegar with purification. In Egypt, it was used as a medicinal elixir. The Greeks administered it to stimulate energy and vitality. Today, science explains why. Its organic acids and bioactive compounds participate in reactions that help the body eliminate toxins and cellular waste. How vinegar supports the liver. The liver is the primary detoxification organ. It transforms fat-soluble toxins into water-soluble compounds, which can be eliminated through sweat, urine, or bile. Apple cider vinegar contributes to this function in 3 ways. It stimulates digestive enzymes, relieving liver overload. It promotes bile production, essential for removing toxins through the digestion of fats. It reduces glucose spikes, preventing fat accumulation in the liver. In other words, it acts as a gentle protector, helping the liver work more efficiently. Autophagy. Cellular recycling. One of the most fascinating aspects of cellular detox is autophagy, a natural mechanism in which the cell literally cleans itself from the inside. It removes damaged proteins, accumulated waste, and even defective organelles, recycling useful parts to generate energy. Research indicates that the acetic acid in apple cider vinegar can stimulate this autophagy. This means the body can renew itself more efficiently, which is directly linked to longevity and the prevention of degenerative diseases. Kidneys and lymphatic system. Detox beyond the liver. True detox doesn't just happen in the liver. Other systems also participate. Kidneys filter the blood, eliminating waste and excess minerals. Vinegar helps maintain a slightly acidic urinary pH, preventing stone formation and facilitating the excretion of toxins. Lymphatic system acts as a drainage system that removes cellular waste. Combined with good hydration, vinegar helps improve lymphatic fluidity, reducing swelling and fluid retention. Thus, vinegar acts as a global facilitator of the detox process. Fad detox versus real detox. It's common to see diets that promise to cleanse the body in 7 days. But in practice, these strategies often deprive essential nutrients, create a yo-yo effect, can even lead to further intoxication by overloading the kidneys and liver. A real detox is continuous, daily, and performed by the body itself. What we need is to support the body's natural cleansing systems, rather than try to replace them. And apple cider vinegar does just that. It strengthens, stimulates, and regulates existing processes. What the studies say. Some research suggests that regular consumption of vinegar can improve liver function markers, increase antioxidant activity, fighting free radicals, support cellular renewal processes associated with autophagy. Although it's still too early to consider it a medicine, the data reinforces that it's a natural nutraceutical, a food with functions beyond basic nutrition. How to include it in your routine intelligently to support cellular detox. Small changes can make a difference. Before main meals, 1 tablespoon diluted in water in the morning on an empty stomach helps activate digestion and metabolism. As a natural seasoning in salads, vegetables, and even in warm teas. The important thing is consistency, not quantity. Excess can cause gastric discomfort, so balance is essential. Renewal begins within the cell. True detox isn't found in expensive juices or fad diets. It happens silently, inside every cell, every day. Apple cider vinegar is one of the few affordable foods capable of supporting this natural process. By caring for the liver, kidneys, and lymphatic system, and stimulating autophagy, it becomes a powerful ally for longevity and vitality. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how vinegar can impact your energy, sleep, and physical performance. You'll discover why so many athletes and everyday people report less fatigue and more energy when they include it in their routine. Energy, sleep, and physical performance. We live in an age where fatigue, stress, and sleepless nights are almost universal. Many turn to energy drinks, excessive coffee, or expensive supplements to try to keep up. But what if a simple natural ingredient could increase energy, improve sleep, and even enhance physical performance? Apple cider vinegar, though often underestimated, has been studied precisely in this context. Its effects range from balancing muscle pH to improving cellular oxygenation, directly impacting daily vitality. Muscle pH balance during intense physical activity or even stressful situations. Muscles produce lactic acid, which is responsible for the burning sensation and fatigue. The acetic acid in vinegar helps the body improve oxygen utilization in muscle fibers, accelerate the removal of metabolites that cause fatigue, balance internal pH, reducing excessive acidity. This metabolic adjustment allows muscles to work longer before exhaustion, benefiting both athletes and everyday people who want to feel more energetic in their daily lives. Cellular oxygenation and energy. Energy comes not only from food, but from the efficiency with which cells convert glucose, sugar, and fat into fuel. Apple cider vinegar helps this process in two main ways. It improves insulin sensitivity, gives cells receive glucose more evenly, without sudden spikes or drops. It favors the use of fat as energy gives, contributing to less fatigue and increased endurance. This mechanism is especially useful in aerobic exercise, walking, running, and even in everyday tasks. Vinegar and deep sleep. A lesser-known point is the impact of vinegar on sleep. Many people report that by consuming it regularly, they experience fewer nocturnal awakenings, deeper, more restful sleep, reduction in insomnia linked to anxiety. How does this happen? Nocturnal blood sugar stabilization prevents early morning blood sugar drops, which can disrupt sleep. Balance of the gut microbiome improves the production of neurotransmitters linked to relaxation, such as serotonin and indirectly melatonin. Therefore, apple cider vinegar can be considered a natural regulator of sleep and daily energy. Physical performance and recovery. Athletes have always sought natural resources to improve results. Apple cider vinegar can help increase muscular endurance, delay fatigue, improve post-exercise recovery, reduce inflammation and muscle soreness. Efficient rehydration. Used in combination with water and electrolytes, it helps maintain mineral balance after intense workouts. Interestingly, historical records show that Roman soldiers and even ancient Greek athletes consumed vinegar diluted in water as an energy tonic, a kind of natural isotonic drink. Scientific evidence. Modern studies indicate that moderate consumption of apple cider vinegar increases glucose uptake by muscles during exercise, reduces the inflammatory response after intense activity, improves sleep quality markers, especially in people with unstable blood sugar levels. Although more clinical research is still needed, the results reinforce its reputation as a natural biohack for energy and vitality. How to use it practically. Some effective ways to incorporate vinegar into your routine. Before training, 1 tablespoon diluted in water improves energy and endurance. After training, combined with a glass of water with lemon and a pinch of salt, aids recovery and mineral replenishment. At night, 1 teaspoon diluted in warm water or calming tea help stabilize blood sugar and sleep quality. Energy and balance. In one step, apple cider vinegar doesn't act as an artificial stimulant that steals energy from the body. Instead, it optimizes internal processes, from muscle balance to deep sleep, so that vitality becomes a natural consequence. By integrating it into your routine, you can experience increased energy, mental clarity, and accelerated physical recovery, all in an accessible and natural way. In the next chapter, we'll explore something that's especially interesting to both women and men: hormonal balance. You'll discover how apple cider vinegar can help regulate stress, support the thyroid, and even alleviate menopausal symptoms. Natural hormone balance. With apple cider vinegar, the human body works like an orchestra. Each hormone is an instrument that needs to be tuned for the music of life to play in harmony. When there's an imbalance, symptoms such as fatigue, weight gain, irritability, difficulty concentrating, infertility, and even chronic diseases arise. In recent years, science has shown that diet has a direct impact on hormonal regulation, and here, once again, apple cider vinegar appears as a simple and natural ally to restore this balance. Cortisol. The stress hormone cortisol is essential for keeping the body active, regulating blood pressure, and releasing energy. But when produced in excess, usually due to chronic stress, it becomes a villain. It increases insulin resistance, it impairs sleep quality, it stimulates the accumulation of abdominal fat. Apple cider vinegar helps control blood sugar and the inflammatory response, which indirectly helps reduce the negative effects of excess cortisol. People who use it regularly report fewer anxiety spikes and more energy stability throughout the day. Support for thyroid function. The thyroid is responsible for regulating metabolism. When out of balance, symptoms such as hair loss, weight fluctuations, and extreme fatigue appear. Although vinegar is not a substitute for medical treatment, it can act as a natural support. improving the absorption of important minerals for the thyroid, such as iron and magnesium, promoting digestion and reducing inflammation, factors that indirectly impact the function of this delicate organ. Furthermore, its regulatory effect on glucose levels helps maintain a more stable metabolism. Women's health and fertility. Hormonal balance is essential for the menstrual cycle, fertility, and reproductive health. Preliminary studies suggest that apple cider vinegar may have a positive role in cases of polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS), one of the main causes of female infertility. Some observed effects: improved insulin sensitivity, reduced metabolic resistance typical of PCOS, gradual restoration of menstrual regularity in certain cases. Although data are still limited, they point to vinegar as a possible natural aid in women's hormonal health. Menopause and associated symptoms. During menopause, the drop in estrogen can cause hot flashes, insomnia, mood swings, and abdominal weight gain. Apple cider vinegar can alleviate some of these symptoms through glycemic control, gives reduced energy and mood swings. Digestive support gives reduced bloating and discomfort. Anti-inflammatory effect gives alleviates joint pain common during this period. It's not a miracle solution, but rather a complementary support that, combined with healthy habits, can bring more comfort during this phase of life. What the research says: some scientific studies indicate that vinegar improves insulin sensitivity in people with hormonal resistance. It can positively influence markers of reproductive health. It has a modulating effect on inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolism, all factors linked to hormonal imbalances. Although science is still developing this field, initial results are promising. How to include it strategically. To take advantage of the hormonal benefits of apple cider vinegar in the morning on an empty stomach gives help stabilize blood sugar. Before dinner gives promotes digestion and reduces nocturnal glucose spikes, aiding sleep. In salads and light dishes gives ensures the absorption of minerals important for hormonal balance. The key is consistency and moderation, never excess. The harmony of the body in balance. Apple cider vinegar is not a medicine, but rather a gentle modulator that supports existing hormonal processes. It acts like a tuner of the internal orchestra, helping the body find its own harmony. By balancing cortisol, supporting the thyroid, and contributing to women's health, it becomes a versatile ally at all stages of life. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about a topic that interests everyone: immunity. ULL discover how apple cider vinegar can boost the body's natural defenses and help prevent common illnesses like colds and infections. The boosted immune system. The immune system is the human body's true defense shield. It's constantly on guard, ready to fight viruses, bacteria, and even defective cells that can lead to serious illnesses. However, this shield can weaken due to stress, poor diet, lack of sleep, and aging. And this is where apple cider vinegar proves to be a powerful ally once again. Rich in organic acids, antioxidants, and natural probiotics, it helps modulate immunity in a balanced way, without excess or deficiencies. The role of innate and adaptive immunity. Our body has two main lines of defense. Innate immunity. This is the first barrier, always ready to act. It includes skin, mucous membranes, and rapid-act cells. Adaptive immunity. More specific, it stores memory of invading agents, such as viruses and bacteria, to better respond to future contacts. Apple cider vinegar acts on both fronts, providing nutrients and bioactive compounds that strengthen the system as a whole. Anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Most modern diseases arise from silent inflammatory processes. Apple cider vinegar contains polyphenols and organic acids that reduce inflammatory markers, helping the body maintain a healthy state of alertness. Furthermore, it fights free radicals and stable molecules that damage cells and accelerate aging, protecting DNA and strengthening the immune system. The gut as the basis of immunity. As we saw in previous chapters, about 70% of immunity resides in the gut. Apple cider vinegar, especially when it contains the mother, the colony of natural probiotics, helps nourish good gut bacteria, creating an environment more resistant to invaders. This intestinal balance directly impacts the production of immune cells and even the response to vaccines and infections. Prevention of colds and infections. Many people report that by including apple cider vinegar in their routine, they notice reduced frequency of colds, reduced intensity of flu-like symptoms, faster recovery from infections. This is due to the general strengthening of immune barriers, in addition to the vinegar's indirect antibacterial and antiviral action. What the research says. Preliminary studies indicate that apple cider vinegar can reduce the growth of pathogenic bacteria, such as E. coli and Salmonella, increase the production of regulatory immune cells, preventing excessive inflammation, improve the body's antioxidant response. While it does not replace medications or vaccines, it acts as a continuous natural support for the body's defenses. Comparison with other natural remedies. Apple cider vinegar stands out because it combines several functions in a single ingredient. Like garlic, it has antibacterial effects. Like ginger, it is anti-inflammatory, and, similar to yogurt, it provides natural probiotics. In other words, it combines in a single substance properties that other foods offer individually. How to use for immunity. Some practical ways to enjoy its benefits. Daily on an empty stomach. 1 tablespoon diluted in water. As a preventative tonic. Mix with honey and warm water. Great for a sore throat. In your diet, season salads and raw vegetables, enhancing antioxidant nutrients. The secret is regularity. Small daily doses strengthen the body in the long term. An affordable and natural shield. Strengthening the immune system doesn't depend on expensive or complex formulas. Often, simple natural solutions, like apple cider vinegar, offer powerful and ongoing support. It works by modulating inflammation, protecting against free radicals, balancing the gut, and providing nutrients that boost immunity. In the next few minutes, you'll discover surprising uses for apple cider vinegar that go far beyond internal health. Get ready to learn about little-known applications for hair, skin, mouth, and even special recipes that enhance nutrients. Unusual and little-known uses. Apple cider vinegar has already proven itself to be a powerful ally for metabolic health, immunity, and longevity. But what few people know is that this golden liquid also holds secrets outside of food. Throughout history, it has been used in beauty and hygiene rituals, and even as a natural disinfectant. In this chapter, we'll explore surprising and practical uses that can transform your daily life in a simple and affordable way. Hair, shine, and natural balance. One of the oldest and most popular uses of apple cider vinegar is as a hair rinse. Because it has a slightly acidic pH, it helps seal hair cuticles, providing intense shine, balance the scalp, reducing oiliness and dandruff, strengthen hair against breakage. Practical recipe. Mix 1 tablespoon of vinegar in 1 cup of water. Use after shampooing, leave on for a few minutes, and rinse. Skin. Natural toner. Apple cider vinegar is also used as a facial toner. Thanks to its antibacterial and pH balancing effects, it can reduce mild acne, soften surface blemishes, leave skin feeling fresher. Important: always dilute 1 part vinegar to 3 parts water and test on a small area before use. Oral hygiene with caution. Few people know this, but apple cider vinegar has been used as a natural mouthwash, helping to eliminate bacteria from the mouth and leaving a feeling of freshness. However, due to its acidity, use should be occasional and always diluted to avoid eroding tooth enamel. Tip: use only in specific situations and rinse with water immediately afterward. Nutrient absorption. Besides digestive health, apple cider vinegar enhances the absorption of minerals found in vegetables. By seasoning salads with it, you are increasing the bioavailability of iron, calcium, and magnesium, promoting fiber digestion, stimulating natural satiety. Therefore, many traditional cultures have always used vinegar or lemon in raw vegetable-based meals. Natural repellent and cleaning. Another little-known use is as a natural insect repellent. The strong scent repellents mosquitoes and small pests. It can also be used for household cleaning, replacing harsh chemicals. Recipe: simple spray. Mix equal parts water and vinegar in a spray bottle. Odor neutralizer. Apple cider vinegar is excellent for eliminating unwanted odors from clothes, shoes, and even the environment. Simply spray the diluted solution to neutralize strong odors, such as sweat or mildew. This happens because it alters the pH of the environment, making it difficult for odor-causing bacteria to proliferate. Use on pets. Many pet owners use apple cider vinegar diluted to clean paws and fur, preventing fungus, repel fleas naturally, freshen the environment where pets live. Always use in small quantities and respect the animal's sensitivity. Recent research suggests that apple cider vinegar may even play a supporting role in natural cosmetics, due to its antimicrobial action and ability to balance the skin's pH. It's no wonder beauty industries are starting to incorporate it into shampoos, soaps, and toners. Historical curiosity. Cleopatra, in Egypt, already used vinegar mixed with other ingredients in her beauty routines. Far beyond internal health, apple cider vinegar proves to be a true natural powerhouse. It cares for skin, hair, hygiene, the home, and even animals. This confirms its versatility and explains why it has spanned millennia as an essential ingredient in various cultures. In a little while, you'll discover how to combine all these benefits into a daily longevity protocol. I'll show you how to include apple cider vinegar in your routine safely, effectively, and sustainably. Stay with me until the end. A woman in her 40s isn't the same anymore, and that's good news. You're more aware, mature, and connected with your body. But you're also starting to notice the silent changes that come with aging: slower metabolism, unexplained weight gain, difficult digestion, less energy, mood swings, and irregular sleep. This happens because, after 40, your body begins to undergo a natural hormonal transition. The drop in estrogen, progesterone, and often the increase in cortisol directly affect your metabolism, gut, and even your emotional health. And this is where a simple, natural, and ancient ally comes in: apple cider vinegar. Why is apple cider vinegar so effective for women 40 plus? It helps control post-meal glucose levels, preventing insulin spikes which promote abdominal fat accumulation and hormonal changes. It stimulates digestion, especially during a phase when stomach acid production tends to decrease, hindering nutrient absorption, reduces bloating and intestinal fermentation, improving microbiota balance, increases satiety, contributing to natural weight control, acts as a metabolic alkalizer, balancing the body's pH, can help control cortisol, promoting greater emotional stability and better sleep. The most common and dangerous mistakes for women during this phase 1: consuming apple cider vinegar on an empty stomach and on its own. This can aggravate silent gastritis, cause reflux, and irritate the esophagus. Women with a history of gastric sensitivity should start with smaller doses and always dilute it in warm water. 2. Using vinegar as a magic weight loss solution. It won't work alone, but it's powerful when integrated into a context of smart eating and a balanced routine. 3. Ignoring hormonal and intestinal effects. If you experience bloating, gas, slow bowel movements, or fluctuating bowel movements, apple cider vinegar can be a great ally if used correctly. But ignoring these signs and simply forcing the protocol is a mistake. For overdoing intensity, excess can harm gut flora and cause long-term mineral deficiencies. The ideal dose is 1 to 2 tablespoons per day, no more. The daily longevity protocol for women 40 plus: focus, metabolism, hormonal balance, gut health. 1 morning, metabolic and digestive activation objective: stimulate metabolism, wake up the digestive system, and avoid glucose spikes at breakfast. Recipe: 1 glass of warm water, 200 milliliters, 1 tablespoon of organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, 1 teaspoon of freshly squeezed lemon. optional, 1 teaspoon of raw honey plus a pinch of turmeric or cinnamon. Directions: take 15 to 30 minutes. Before breakfast, still on an empty stomach. If you feel discomfort, eat half a banana or a spoonful of hydrated chia seeds first. Tip: this ritual helps reduce uncontrolled morning hunger and improves energy in the early hours of the day. 2. Before lunch and/or dinner, glycemic control and satiety. Objective: avoid insulin spikes, improve, digestion, and aid in weight control. Simple recipe: 200 milliliters of water, 1 teaspoon or up to 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Alternative: use apple cider vinegar as a base for a functional salad dressing. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, herbs: oregano, rosemary, turmeric, a pinch of pink salt. How to use: consume 10 to 15 minutes before meals or as the main salad dressing. Behavioral tip: combine with a smart eating sequence, vegetables plus protein plus carbohydrates. This reduces the glycemic impact of the meal. 3. At night, hormonal stability and sleep quality. Objective: reduce internal acidity, improve digestion, and facilitate deep sleep. Recipe: nighttime functional tea, 200 milliliters warm water, 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, 1 pinch cinnamon or lavender powder. Optional, 1 drop vanilla extract or 1 teaspoon chamomile. How to use: take about 1 hour before bed. Avoid on a completely empty or overly full stomach. Expected effects: more restful sleep, less reflux, and more regular bowel movements the next day. Exclusive tips for women, 40 plus. Winning combination: apple cider vinegar plus magnesium plus natural probiotics such as kefir or unsweetened yogurt. Avoid vinegar while using anticides or proton pump inhibitors. Consult your doctor. Take care of your teeth. Use a stainless steel straw and rinse your mouth with water after consumption. Monitor your body. Insomnia, gas, or heartburn are signs that adjustments are needed. Consistency plus connection: the secret to women's longevity. You don't need extreme solutions or radical diets. You need self-knowledge, simple habits, and consistency with intelligence. Apple cider vinegar is just one resource. The true longevity protocol lies within you, in prioritizing yourself, in learning to listen to your body, in knowing that it is possible to age with ease, vitality, and pleasure. Ready to take control of your health, your body, and your energy. Download the Female Longevity Planner now, a complete guide with morning and nighttime routine with apple cider vinegar, strategies for natural weight loss after 40, anti-inflammatory recipes and meal plans, hormonal and gut self-assessment tools. If you liked this video, please like, share, and help us teach others how to use apple cider vinegar. See you next time.